What up, and welcome to the Rival Fantasy Basketball Show. I am your host, Neal Maligno, and I appreciate you for joining me as always. If you celebrate Easter, I hope you had a good one. I hope it was a really blessed time for you guys, for you and your family. If you don't celebrate Easter, well, I hope you just had a damn good weekend. That's about it. It's been another fun week of basketball in general. I mean, obviously, we have a lot going on in basketball in terms of college, the Elite Eight, the Elite Four. But of course, in fantasy basketball, the last week is in the books. The season is coming to a close. You're in your championship or you're not. Let's jump straight into rivals of last week. I don't waste any time here, right? I don't like to mess around. I don't like to drag it out if we don't have to. Obviously, we'll chop it up if you guys are in the chat, but if not, we're going to get straight to the program. We're going to get straight to it. So let's start with Rivals of the Week. Now, last week, you guys know, with Rivals of the Week, I always just like to mention and highlight a couple players who I think had, outstanding performances at least one time in the week. And so I'll highlight 3 players from that. Sometimes they're a little more obvious, like, yeah, of course, Neal, of course that guy had a good week. I try to not do that so much unless it was a really, fantastic outing. So the first guy I want to mention is Austin Reaves. March 26th, he had 29 points, 14 rebounds, 10 assists, and 2 blocks. Obviously, it doesn't matter what kind of scoring you're using in your league. That is a great game, and he helped people in clutch time right now, right? Like in the fantasy playoffs, it's go big or go home. And so LeBron trusts Austin Reaves. You trusted Austin Reaves. He paid off for you on March 26th. Next guy, I can't not mention Jalen Brunson. March 29th, 61 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, and 1 steal. Of course, he didn't win the game because Wemby and the Spurs still pulled that game out. I mean, Wemby had a great game too, so not surprising, but Jalen Brunson went off. It was a very impressive outing. And of course, again, helping people, carry people straight into the fantasy championship. And then another Nick, Donte DiVincenzo, March 25th, 40 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. He was scoring all different ways for you in fantasy. This is going to be an episode where we talk a lot about Knicks players because it's hard to not acknowledge some of these guys, especially you're in the fantasy playoffs right now. You're trying to make that playoff run, that championship run. And here you are. These guys are stepping up in a major way. It's impressive. It's impressive to say the least. If you're a Knicks fan or not, it doesn't really matter. You had to trust these guys. They're getting lots of minutes and it's paying off. And so there's no reason at this point to not depend on those guys, to wrap this season up. So I'm definitely going to. So we're going to talk about, a bunch of them that are really need to be highlighted. I'm not going to talk about Jalen Brunson other than this rival of the week, but we do have guys to talk about for the Knicks. So those are my 3 rivals of the week. Obviously, if you guys have ones that you thought were really, big for you and really clutch for you in this playoffs run, let me know who helped carry you to the championship. Let me know who helped you advance in your fantasy playoffs. If you put them in the chat, of course, I'll share them on the screen. Otherwise, we can move on to, news, injuries, mostly injuries. There's just a couple of players that I want to mention. I'm going to talk about at least 3 guys. Again, these are guys who were likely, starting for you or that you are rotating, throughout the week. So we'll talk about those 3 guys. Let's just jump straight into them. Lauri Markkanen hurt his shoulder. He's out, expected at least 2 weeks, the last thing I've seen. So basically it's looking like he's done for the fantasy season. So you're not going to be able to use him the rest of the way more than likely. Obviously, you want to see who else they're using, who's going to get the minutes. May not be worthy for you to start at this point because there should be better options for you more than likely, especially ones that you can trust in the championship. Then there's Malik Monk, who hurt his MCL. He's expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks, so he's done for the season. When I say done for the season, I'm talking about fantasy, obviously. When I say done for the season, I'm not talking about whether their team's going to make a run or go to the playoffs or any kind of stuff. Just talking about fantasy. So yeah, Malik Monk, another guy that I personally was rotating in some leagues. I was using in DFS. I was doing a lot of challenges on Rival Fantasy because, again, when I say Rival Fantasy, you're like, what is he talking about? Rival Fantasy is a platform that sponsors and runs and everything this show. Rival Fantasy, if you can go to the description right now, you'll see a link there, or you can just download the app on your phone. That's where I do all my fantasy for best ball, for challenges, for fantasy bingo. Lots of unique, innovative games there. I highly suggest you go check it out. But yeah, I was using Malik Monk a lot there, especially in challenges, because those are just head-to-head fantasy matchups. And so if I'm just going off fantasy points, Malik Monk will catch a lot of people slipping. He has high upside, so I was using him a lot there. And the last player I want to mention is Jeremy Sochan, left ankle, hurt his ankle. Could miss the rest of the season. Right now, things are kind of up in the air on exactly how long he's going to be out. The last time I checked, more than likely not a guy you can depend on the rest of the way. Sochan, you just want to get him out the way. He was also, kind of inconsistent as it was. Obviously, the main Spurs that I was caring about at this, recently, obviously, the whole season is Wemby. And then, of course, Devin. So, I mean, those were two guys that, you could trust as of late. And especially with Sochan out, I think that Devin Vassell, gets a little bump for that. So I definitely would, check your league, see if he's there. And again, if you're playing best ball, highly worth it, drafting. If you're playing best ball on Rival, or if you're using him for challenges or anything like that, he's going to be a sneaky play. He's definitely going to be a sneaky play that you don't want to miss out on. These are the kind of opportunities I like to take, shots with these guys, right? Like in challenges, I might catch somebody slipping in a good matchup. So I definitely look forward to the guys that fill in for these guys who are going to eat up a lot of scoring for these guys. So definitely check them out. I think those are the three biggest injury concerns we have in terms of, the fantasy championship looking ahead. If you're playing DFS, if you're playing challenges and bingo, obviously you can't use these guys, but consider their backups, consider the guys who are going to get a bump in minutes, consider the guys who are going to fill, scoring holes, and potentially use them in challenges, potentially use them in bingo, just depending on the matchup and if you have better options or not. But definitely those are the biggest news and injuries for the upcoming week. Let's go ahead and talk about stock up. Players that have improved, and we need to make sure we have them on our rosters, get them on our starting lineup. It's definitely, as we're picking guys up each day and dropping, we have to consider these guys. You might just want to snatch up, honestly, to even get them on your bench and not even have to worry about it, because if you let them sit there any longer, if they are available, they're probably going to get snatched up by somebody who needs them, especially for a championship run. And in DFS, again, bingo, these guys are clutch, because the guys I'm going to tell you right now, their names don't necessarily, strike fear in people at the moment. Those in the know. Those who are up on it, know. But in general, you might catch people slipping. Again, first I want to talk about last week's stock up. I said Trey Murphy, the third, who I feel like that was a successful stock up. Jalen Suggs was another guy that I said it was a stock up that I feel like you could trust. Again, for him, the minutes are consistent because of his defense. So as long as he's a defensive menace out there, his minutes are going to be consistent. His scoring has been up a lot. He seems super confident. His team has a lot of faith in him. So Jalen Suggs is up. And the one miss I feel like I got was Gigi Jackson and Aldama. I don't know what it was. Those guys are up and down. And so I feel like I'm going to give myself the no for that one, for that stock up. For this week, my first stock up is Miles McBride. The Knicks are giving him all the minutes in the world, and he's absolutely flourishing with those minutes. So Miles McBride is 100% a player that I feel like you definitely could be using as a sneaky play in challenges. Definitely useful in bingo because he might hit a lot of different marks for you there, depending on the achievements you get. And then of course, best ball. It depends on the size of the best ball league. Like when I'm in some of the 2-person best ball leagues or 4-person best ball leagues, he's not necessarily needed. But in terms of the bigger ones, if you're in one that's a little bit larger sized, you definitely can find use for him, especially if you don't get a guy at the position that you wanted and you miss out on all the good ones. He's not a bad play for you to be paying attention to. Besides Miles McBride, there's also Haywood Highsmith, crushing it the last 3 games. If you've been using him in fantasy, I'm sure you're very thankful for that. Killing it from three. For 3-point land, he is super hot right now. Just in general, he's been scoring a lot of points. He's been scoring a lot of points in fantasy. Again, a sleeper. If we're talking about on Rival challenges, you might catch someone slipping there. Or for bingo, interesting use. Again, best ball, it depends on, again, you're probably, if the draft is deep, sure, but you're probably not going to be in a draft that deep that I think necessarily you have to go to these guys. You usually will end up with decent options, but it depends on the matchup. I was using last week. Was it last week? Yeah. I mean, every week when I get towards my utility spot on the best ball drafts, I tend to draft guys like Haywood, like Miles. These are guys that I'll fill that spot in if I like the matchup. If the matchup is really good, it's really tempting. These guys, again, their seasons are over, or the team is struggling, or there's lack of depth on the team, and so they're just eating up minutes. It is what it is. They're killing it with the time that they're getting. So those two definitely keep an eye on. And a name that's coming up twice now in today's episode is Donte DiVincenzo. Obviously, he's having a career year. He's having a career season as a Knick. Can't really complain about the output he's done. He hasn't scored less than 43 fantasy points since March 23rd. Obviously, it depends on your scoring, but in one of the leagues that I was looking at the time when I was making notes for this was that not less than 43 fantasy points. That's impressive. That's really good. I mean, if you're getting that kind of output from him on a game basis every time he plays, if we can get into that more often and stay there, I mean, hell, I'll take the high 30s, 40s. I'll take that from Donte DiVincenzo. Again, you gotta start to rely on it. You can't ignore it. You can't be like, what if it falls off? Like, you don't, unless you have, the luxury to not worry about, that spot on your team. If you're not going to end up starting them, sure, I guess it's cool. But I know I've been in a couple of leagues where these guys are for sure, being added. They're for sure being started, depending on your situation. You know what I mean? So Miles McBride, Haywood, Highsmith, Donte DiVincenzo, stock up on these gentlemen. I hit 2 out of 3 last week. I feel like that's how I'm grading myself on this one. I like to be transparent. So hopefully we go 3 for 3. Again, this is a really big week this week, next week, depending on the way your league set up. But again, Miles McBride, Haywood, Highsmith, Donte DiVincenzo, stock up, gentlemen. I do want to do some challenges with you guys. You guys know I like to do challenges every single week. I like to do a bingo card with you guys. I will squeeze in a best ball draft if I can find one during the actual stream. I may not be able to because it just depends on when they fill. I'm also going to go ahead and drop it in the chat. This way, if it doesn't fill, I'm sending it right now to a bunch of people who are friends with me on the app. And then if no one accepts it, you guys also have the opportunity to play me. And then if you're interested in weekly ones, and again, guys, these are going in the chat. So if you're in the chat right now live, you could join these and actually draft with me right now. Before we do anything else, let me go ahead and bring up Rival now, and we'll actually do challenges and stuff. All right, let's go ahead and bring it up. All right, there you go. You guys see it on the screen here now. What we're going to do is we're going to start. This is the best ball lobby. This is where this is where you could join the league. So if you're say you're looking for NBA, obviously we're talking basketball, you could just click on NBA. These are the weekly ones. These are the daily ones. And so these are all ones that I'm in right now with these check marks. So if you join any of these, again, I dropped them in the chat. If you're watching live, those will be there in the chat for you to join as we speak. I also sent them out to some of my friends on there if they're awake to play. So we'll see if they join. Meanwhile, we'll do some challenges. We'll pull up NBA challenges. If you are a fan of MLB, while we're at it, there is MLB challenges up as well. The season just started a couple of days ago. So, all right, here we go. Challenges. Let's get a couple of these in at least. Let's do at least 3 of them. We have a Kevin Durant, Halliburton one here. Someone's got $9 on it. You can pull up the player card if you're not sure who they're playing the next game. If you want to see how they've been playing or performing, or you want to see any notes on the player, it's all here on the player card. Really, really easy to use. Halliburton's playing the Nets the next 2 games. He's healthy. I'm actually not opposed to this. Kevin Durant's playing the Pelicans. I think I'm going to get a slice of this. I'm going to go ahead and take Halliburton. I'll put 5 on it. That one should be fun to watch. We got one where Jason Tatum versus Kevin Durant. Again, you want to look at the news, make sure you're all up to date, see how the player's been performing. He's playing the Hornets. That's a likely, a game that he's in a crush. We know Kevin Durant's playing the Pelicans. I'm probably going to pass on this one. I'm not really into, betting against, Jason Tatum all the time. Depends on the matchup. There's a lot of Jason Tatum bets here. DeJounte Murray, though, I mean, this is an interesting one, right? DeJounte Murray, as we've talked about, has been on fire ever since he's been doing well all season. But when they lost Trae Young, thankfully they didn't trade DeJounte Murray before that happened. Murray's been just crushing it. This is actually a challenge this person's got me. Like I'm gonna try this one and see what happens. I'm gonna put 5 on it. Actually, you know what? I may put 10. And with the idea that somebody, whether you guys watching or somebody who comes along, may want to actually take another bet on that, I'm willing to go 10 on this. So there'll be a $5 available challenge right now for that on the platform if you guys are interested, or if somebody else picks it up, before the game. These are all for tomorrow, by the way, guys. Of course, obviously, at the time of this live stream, these games can't possibly be today, but you'll see under the player's name, that's the day, the time, all that kind of stuff. So you have that information as well. Jason Tatum, Booker. I don't want to do no more Tatums. Let's see what else we got out here. Actually, Speaking of Tatum and not wanting to play it, I do have my boy Paolo here. I'm a Magic fan. I definitely don't want to miss out on opportunities, but I also don't want to get crazy. I mean, he tends to play the Magic play a really well oiled machine as a team, and Paolo doesn't have to carry them. So I'm going to skip it. It looks like one of our best ball drafts are picked up. So it looks like we might actually be able to do that right now. Let's go ahead and check which one was picked up. I think it was this one. No. Damn, which one was it? Was it one of the weekly ones? Could have sworn I seen that one of the drafts kicked off. Let me see. Oh, it's an MLB draft. All right, we'll have to wait. I thought it was one of the NBA ones that we put out there. All right, let's see what else we have here. Booker, Banchero. I really would like to get a Banchero one in. I might do this one. I really want to get a Banchero. I'll put $1 on it. We'll see if anyone picks it up. I'm assuming, there's not a lot of Banchero love out there right now. I'm going to skip that one. I'm also going to create one that I'm going to put in the chat for you guys. We'll do... These guys are arch nemesis over here. Well, I'm going to drop one in the chat. I'm trying to think of who I should put in the chat for you guys. This is going to be posted on all socials, so whoever gets to it first will get to it. I'm going to put $25 on the social challenge that I create. This way, if someone wants to take all 25 of it, they can. Or people can take bits and pieces of it. You can put $1, $5, $10, whatever you want to do. I'm just trying to think of a player that I want to match up with Paolo that will, entice people. I think Zion is an interesting candidate, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a social challenge. I'm going to drop this in the chat, and I'm also just going to drop it on my socials as well. So if you're looking for it, if you're not in the chat, you can find it on X. You'll find it on X. Let's do Zion. All right, cool. I'm going to take the Paolo side. Obviously, I'm going to put 25 on him. I created it, and then I could send it to my friends on here. If you guys are my friends, if you want to add me, it's Clock Dodgers, CLOCKDODGERS. You can add me right there on the platform. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and copy the link. I'm going to put it in the chat. All right, cool. It's in the chat. Again, when you get this, you can choose to take the whole 25 if you think that you're going to, smack me. Or if you're not as confident or you only want to wager a little bit, $1, $5, $10, whatever you want to, put towards it. Okay, now it looks like we got an NBA draft to participate in. Let's go ahead and bring it up. Let's see which one it is. It's Monday, a $3. So it's either this one or that one. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. All right, we got 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Let's still look at some more challenges before that starts. Again, I dropped it in the chat for you guys if you're interested in the Zion Paolo challenge. Not gonna bet against my boy Vooch. Look at this one. Pascal Siakam. Been a little up and down, but he's playing the Nets. Super easy matchup. Vooch playing the Hawks. Again, not a tough matchup. I will take part in this one. All right, cool. How much more longer do we got before this draft starts? We got 3 more minutes. All right. What I'll do is I like to queue up some players also, so this way I don't have to, it's only me and one other person, so it's not too bad. But I do like to queue up like my favorites. And again, this isn't one where we'll have to worry about the situation where you're drafting the guys like McBride and stuff necessarily, unless you really like the matchup, you think they're going to continue to stay hot, then you can put them in. But when it's just 2 teams, typically, you'll get anything that you want. You'll get a lot of the great, top elite players. Not to say that McBride and them won't outscore them. So that's what I mean. They're still, guys you should consider for sure. Let's see. Let's see what we want to do here. Okay. Just trying to set this over here. We got 2 minutes left in that one, guys. So it's gonna start very soon. Very soon. Very soon. We got to make sure we get the dub. We ain't trying to lose. I ain't trying to lose to BK Oldham. BK Oldham. We got the second pick, so I'm curious where he's going to go first. I probably he's going to go Tatum. I doubt that he won't go Tatum. I'm pretty confident that's where he's going to go with this one. All right. What is this one? This is just tomorrow also. So I don't have to worry about the whole week. I don't have to think more out, any further than just the one matchup, which is nice. Makes it easier. You don't have to, get too crazy with it. Let me see here. By the way, guys, if you're watching, please don't forget to subscribe. It means the world to us. We'd greatly appreciate it. It's how we, grow the platform. So we really appreciate it if you guys can just like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We would greatly appreciate it. Draft is starting in 50 seconds. 50 seconds. All right, let me see here. Damn, not what I was looking for. Okay. Here we go. Should be good. 29 seconds. Yeah, he's going to go Jason Tatum. I'll probably go Halliburton. That's my guess. That's my guess. What's that about? There we go. Let's see what he does. Let's see. Yeah, Jason Tatum, like I expected. I kind of want to go Halliburton. He's my favorite for this. Yeah, let's go Halliburton. And then, so we got a point guard. Let's also... Sometimes I like to get the center a little early if I'm not crazy about the options. So we'll go Vooch. We got our point guard and our center. All right, cool. Let's see what BK Oldham does here. We're still going to need... This is early, so we still need a little bit of everything. I like to just queue over some of my favorites. I love McCollum. You got Booker and Pascal. Okay. So he's got forward, power forward, guard. I also like to keep an eye on who they're picking so I know whether they're possibly going to go back to that spot or not. That way I know I can kind of not care as much and not be too, concerned. I wouldn't mind getting a few of these guys. I could start. I say let's go Durant. That fills my power forward spot. Let's go Paolo for my forward spot. So now I got guard. Shooting guard, a guard. I still need a small forward. I had DeRozan over here who I like if he doesn't take him. That's why I like to queue up players, so I don't gotta feel the heat in the moment. We also have a utility spot left. Okay. You gotta be aware of all these guys who are out. They are draftable. The system will allow you to draft them, and it'll also allow you to draft out of position. So you just want to be careful that you don't slip into that. So okay, we're gonna go Zion for our utility. We're gonna go Murray at guard. So now we have DeRozan, who I'd like to get at my small forward if he doesn't pick him, and then we just need a guard. Out. You gotta be careful. All these guys are out. Beal, not really feeling it. Holiday, he's back healthy. I think that might be the route I go. Let's see. Scoot's interesting against the Magic. I kind of like that. As a Magic fan, I'm still not opposed to it. I still kind of like, kind of digging that actually. White's been really good. He's been having a good season so far, but I don't think he's close to those guys in terms of, being a potential option for me to draft here. I know I talked about Suggs earlier in the show, but again, I'm not going to go that deep. I like the options above him. Damn, he did take DeRozan. I should have took him before I took Zion, probably. Or actually, before I took... No, he was always a threat, I guess. Oh, he's on auto draft now. What happened? Okay. So now I still need a guard and a forward. I'm going to go with Drew Holiday as my point guard. I don't need to make the pick just a second. Let me give myself a chance to look a little bit here. I like the way Herbert Jones has been playing. I might go that route. I also like Trey Murphy. Let's take Holiday. All right. I'm considering Herbert Jones right now. That's probably going to be the way I decide to go. Hausher. No way, sir. Bridges. Michael Bridges, actually. Nah, against the Celtics. I don't want to take that chance. Yeah, I'm going to go the safe route. Take Herbert Jones. All right, there we go. So we can go to our team after the fact. I got Tyrese at point guard, DeJounte Murray at guard, shooting guard, Drew Holiday just as my extra guard, Herbert Jones at small forward, Durant at power forward, Paolo Banchero at forward, and then I have Nikola Vucevic at center and Zion as my utility. That's a solid team. I'm liking it. Obviously, projections don't mean much, but of course I'm projected for the most. He messed up there at the end going auto. I don't know what happened there, but definitely did not help their case. All right, cool. So we were able to do at least one best ball draft here on the show, which is good. We did a bunch of challenges already. Let's do one bingo card, and then we'll get out of here. One bingo card, and then we'll bounce. Before we do that, just a reminder, what we're playing here is Rival Fantasy. Go check it out. You can either go to the link in the description right now. You'll get, if you use that link and you sign up and it's your first deposit, you'll get your first deposit matched up to $200. And then you'll also get a $25 voucher. $25 voucher, all just for signing up and making it your first deposit. On the site, you can actually refer friends. You'll get $25. They'll get $25. There's so much fun things to do, including, I always like to show this. There's a bonus game on Rival Fantasy. It's totally free. There's nothing you need to pay for, deposit, none of that kind of stuff. You go in here, you can shuffle the cards. You can do this once a day. Every 24 hours, you get to do it. Then you get to shuffle them and then pick a card. It could be a bad thing. It could be nothing, or I could win something. Let's see. Locked bonus, $10. $10 friggin' dollars for free. So what that does is when it says locked bonus is you have to spend $10, or you have to spend, every time you spend a dollar will come out of the locked bonus. Awesome. Free $10. Can't beat it. Just collect it and you're done. Now I'll wait another 13 hours for it to recycle. It says 13 because I waited longer in the day so I could show you guys how it worked. You know what I'm saying? But again, it looks like we got another best ball draft. Let's see which one we got this time that's active. Not this one. It's this one. Our two-teamer. Another one. Looks like Genesis wants to do this. I was going to do a bingo card, but Genesis wants to play. I mean, we got 2 minutes and 30 seconds. We got the first pick this time, so we're going to go Tatum, of course, and then we'll see where they go from there. I'm just going to queue some guys up who I don't want to necessarily miss, that I'm really liking. This is, again, just for tomorrow. I didn't get DeRozan last time. I would like to get him this time. We'll see. Zion, of course, we won't ignore you. McCollum is always good. If we have to go that route, Holiday I like since he's been back. Who is Ayton playing? Oh, he's playing the Magic. He should do pretty well there, honestly. I'll put him over there just in case we don't get Vooch. All right, let's see. We got enough guys queued up right now, I think, so that we can, go into this not too rushed. You know what I mean? Just want to see if there's any other wild cards here. I do like Herbert. We'll push him over there just for as a safety valve in case we don't get the guys we want. Man, Suggs. As a Magic fan, I'm so proud of this guy. Look at this. I mean, come on. Come on. He should do really well again tomorrow. I might get crazy and put him on my team. We'll see. And then again, if you want to search, you can just search for guys. You know what I mean? And you could do whatever you want. It's, if the player's playing, he'll show up there. If he's not playing, he won't show up there. You get it. You know how it works. You know how it works. The fun thing is I like to do a lot of these. I try to put some variants out there. I try to, do some that are similar because I really feel strong about those players. And then I love sometimes you'll do these against some of the same people. So I feel like they start to like learn how how you draft. But when you get people new people for the day, or they don't know who you like that day or that week, so it's always fun. I'm not familiar with Genesis. I think I've seen that name before. So shout out to you. I don't know if you're in the chat right now or you're just, unless it's just happened to be random while we're on the live stream. But either way, your draft is going on the channel. Your draft will be shown to the world. All right, we got 20 seconds left. I got my guys queued up. I'm starting with Tatum. The rest will be dictated by how Genesis drafts against us. We'll see what exactly he does, how he counters us. We'll see what it's looking like. We got our wild cards in the queue over here. We got some safety nets in case things get ugly. Let's see. All right, let's not make him wait. Start with Tatum. No reason to hold it up, just to talk. All right, let's see where Genesis goes. And Genesis is here, just so you guys know. When you see the little green dot here, that means the person is there. So he is in the room here with us. So we don't have to worry about that. We don't have to worry about that. You took Tyrese. I should assume that, though. What other point guards do I have queued up? Do I have any other point guards? McCollum. Yeah, I'm not going to rush to fill my point guard spot. I mean, I might take McCollum right out the gate just so I don't have to worry about it. It's kind of him, or I like Holiday, too. So we'll see. Oh, he took two of my favorites. I wanted to get DeRozan this time, but not going to happen. It's not going to happen. He went guard and small forward. So some people, tend to try to fill each position, kind of spread it out. Some people will target the same thing right again, like guard right away again or forward right away again. I'm going to get Murray, and I want to get KD. I want to make sure I got those guys. I know he took a small forward already, but it doesn't mean that he wouldn't double down again with power forward right away. He might try to fill his power forward spot, so I wanted to get that filled in. Trying to see here. DeAndre Ayton. Okay, so maybe Vooch will be safe for me. Zion. Okay, so I'm going to wait on Vooch because I feel like he's not going to take a second center, at least not right now. So I'm going to hold off on that. I still need a guard, point guard. I don't think he's going to go point guard again right away. He only has the one guard, though. So no, doesn't mean I want the same guard as him, but I'll go McCollum. And then I'm going to go Banchero. Let's see what he does now. Devin Booker. Okay, that makes sense. First pick was quick. Second one, he's thinking now. And you see how he's very proportionate right now. Point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center. So he has all of the basic positions filled. Now he's just got the extra guard, the extra forward, and utility. I'm going to let Vooch. It's always funny because I don't know if the person playing with me is watching. I don't know if he's in the chat. So it's always a little funny to be saying my plays out loud here. Yeah, see, I'm able to keep passing on Vooch. All right, so guard and center, and then utility. For our utility, kind of surprised Siakam's still here against the Nets. I'm actually going to take Siakam, I believe, for my utility spot. Yeah, I'm going to take Siakam. And then I'm going to wait till the very end for my center. So I will go Holiday. Let's see what he does. I'm curious. Cade, okay. That makes sense. And Jalen Brown. All right, so our bet to hold off on Vooch to the end worked. It made sense. Let's look at this team really quick. All right, so we got CJ McCollum, DeJounte Murray, Drew Holiday, Jason Tatum. We got two Boston players, Kevin Durant, Paolo Banchero, Nikola Vucevic, and Pascal Siakam. So we got a little bit different this one. Pascal we didn't have in the last draft. We didn't have Jason Tatum last draft. We didn't have CJ McCollum last draft. So we've got a little variance here for tomorrow. Again, I will keep joining these. So there will be ones available for people to play. There's, again, 2-teamers, 4-teamers. There's also different prices for the daily. So you could do anywhere from $3 to $100. And then if you want to do the weekly drafts, which I'm still waiting for a bunch to fill, but there's 4-team and 6-team. And again, prices range from $3 to $100. So I'll fill some. I'll do some of those tomorrow too. I'm sure those will fill up as the new week is starting. Again, this is great. Also, if you're out of the fantasy playoffs, you're not in the fantasy championship. Another fun way to just keep keep getting it before the basketball's gone, which will be a depressing little thing, but it's okay. It's okay. Let's go ahead and do fantasy bingo. Let's check it out. Again, for those who aren't familiar, fantasy bingo. What you're going to do is you're going to make sure you're on the right tab, either MLB, NBA. The prize pool is here. It gets split up depending on how you win, either 5 in a row, any other way, or 4 in a corner. And how many people win also matters. Sometimes you're the only winner. Sometimes there's 5 winners, 10 winners, whatever. So we buy a card. It's only $1 per card. The cool thing about bingo is there's no salary cap. So you can do whatever you want in terms of the players you're picking. Now, these also, you could buy 1 card of the same players, 5, 100. You could buy 10 different cards with different lineups. It's up to you how you want to split it up. So I do it all different kinds of ways. Right now, we'll just do a card together. Halliburton, as you guys have heard, is my favorite point guard. Going into the games, let's see what else we got. I love DeJounte Murray. It might be a lot of players similar to my best ball team. We'll see, though. We'll take Jason Tatum. We will take, depends on, I don't mind it, I guess. We'll go Paolo. I can't help myself, guys. Don't talk any crap about me, my Orlando Magic faith here. At center, do I want to keep going Vooch? Do I want to switch it up? Do we want a little Jalen Duren action against the Grizzlies? We could switch it up. Ayton versus Orlando. I would assume that's going to be probably a good one for him too. Although I don't know. The Magic are a pretty big team. Pretty tall team. And it'll be Wendell's job to slow him down. So I think we'll go Vooch. And then for our utility spot, we have 3 utility spots on the bingo card. So you can go any kind of way you want with this. Whatever rhyme or reason you want to figure out. I'm going to go Durant. I'll probably go Booker. Since I didn't get Booker in the best ball drafts yet, I want to get a little bit of Booker action. Do I want Booker? I don't know. Yeah, I'm probably gonna go. I don't know. I kind of want DeMar, and then it's between Zion or Booker for me on this one. Let me just double check again what we're looking at. Reminder, guys, to subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel on YouTube. We appreciate it greatly. These episodes also get edited and then put onto the different podcast apps. If you prefer to listen to podcasts, that's fine as well. We also have Pascal Siakam, who's a sneaky play, I think, tomorrow versus the Nets. Let's do that. Let's get crazy and go Pascal. Let's skip the other 2. Submit the roster. Now, here's where I say you could put 1, 5, 10, all the way to 100. We'll do 5 of this lineup. Again, I may come back in here and add some new cards, some new players, mix it up a little bit, get some other players in there that I think, have a good week. But when you do it, you'll click on them. And this is what you'll get. You'll get a bunch of achievements that you're hoping these players will fill in. I don't tend to look at them throughout the day. I like to just look at the end of the day to see if I won. If you won, it'll look like this. This is 4 and a corner. Just so you see, it's 4 and a corner. This card I won $6.98. Again, the card only costs $1. If you want to, so let me see some other ones. Here's 5 in a row. I won $7.40 on this card. All these green ones are other ones that you hit with your players, but just didn't get in a row. Obviously, the yellow means you hit them in a row. Here's another one, 595. Again, these all cost $1, 1638, and it really just depends. The more people who play, the prize pool goes up. The less people who play, the prize pool goes down. It just depends on, you know, what's going on. So a lot of fun. We did challenges. Want to make sure no late minute ones snuck through here. I'll check again tomorrow before the games kick off in terms of whether anybody, you know, has some new ones out there. Don't forget, my bet is still out here. Paolo, I'm taking him over Zion. I'll post it on X. It is in the chat right now if you're interested. It is in the chat right now if you're interested. Let's see. Best ball. We'll do more of these tomorrow. And that's it, guys. Again, sign up for Rival. Get in here. See, these are all the vouchers that I've won through the free card game that I still haven't even used. You can use, they got best ball vouchers, bingo, challenges, all kinds of stuff. So it doesn't, not just the ones where you unlock from spending money, but also just ones that I haven't even used yet. Also, you could favorite players if there's certain players that you like to see a lot. Your friends, you can go over here. This is where you can see the friends, whether they're on or not right now. If you want to send them a challenge, you could add a friend. If I had pending requests, they would be here. Again, my username on here is Clock Dodgers, CLOCKDODGERS. If you send it to me, I will accept it. And then refer a friend. Again, you refer a friend, you both get $25 free vouchers. Nothing better than that. Can't beat it. You cannot beat it. And then your dashboard, it'll show you all the different things that you got going on, where you lost, where you won. Like here's a challenge I won, $45. I picked Luka. They had Sabonis. I won. $45 win right there. So lots of fun. That's what it is, Rival Fantasy Sports. You guys go check it out. Again, there is a link in the description where if you have never made a deposit yet, you go on that link, you sign up, you make your deposit, they'll match it up to $200 for your first deposit, plus you'll get the $25 free voucher straight up. Go do that today. Now, we did everything today, guys. You know, if you're in the fantasy playoffs, if you're in the championships, congrats to you. Whether your league is one of the leagues where, you know, you're in the fantasy championship this week, whether it's a 2-week one, whatever it is, congrats that you made it that far. It's not easy, man. The fantasy basketball is very difficult, you know, constantly switching those lineups all season long. So shout out to you if you made it that far. Again, we talked about the rivals of the week. The ones from last week, we'll have new ones again next week. News and injuries, the guys to watch out for, Lauri, Markkanen, Malik, Jeremy Sochan, they're gone. They're done. Move on from them. Stock up players that you want to get onto your rosters, get into your starting lineup. Miles McBride, Haywood, Highsmith, and Donte DiVincenzo if they're available. We did some challenges. We did some bingo. We had a lot of fun. We did some best ball drafts. We actually got 2 done live, which was awesome. That's it for today, guys. I appreciate you for joining me as always. Find us on X, TikTok, Instagram, all those platforms at Rival Fantasy. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It means the world to us. I know it's just one little click of a button. To you, it doesn't mean anything, but to us, it means more than you can understand. Like this episode, share it with a friend. We look forward to catching you guys next week. And in the comments, anything you guys talk about in the comments below or in the lives, we always respond to them. This is not one of those shows where you talk and talk and talk and we do not interact or respond. So feel free to do so. Don't be shy. That is it for me today, guys. Good luck to you. Have a great week. If you're into baseball, we'll have a live stream tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. During football season, we have live streams for fantasy football as well. And then there'll just be other content throughout the week that you definitely want to check out. Again, I'm your host, Neal Maligno. I appreciate you guys for joining me as always. And that's it. I am outie.